If you are running a home care agency and intake is eating up your day, this is a question worth getting a real answer on because intake looks straightforward from the outside and is actually one of the most detail-intensive things your agency does. So, can a virtual assistant handle it? Yes. But let me show you exactly what that looks like in practice and what it takes for a VA to do it well. I'm Lauren Hertz from ClearDesk. Let me walk you through what client intake actually involves, what a trained VA can own completely, and what to watch for. First, what are we actually talking about when we say intake? Because it covers more ground than most people initially think. Client intake starts the moment a referral comes in, a call from a hospital discharge planner, an inquiry from a family member, a lead from your website. From that first contact through to the client's first scheduled visit, there is a sequence of steps that all need to happen correctly and in the right order. Information gathering, documentation, system entry, authorization verification, care plan setup, and family communication. Every one of those steps is detail sensitive. An error in intake does not stay contained. It ripples downstream into scheduling, billing, and care coordination. So the question is not whether a VA can do intake. The question is whether a VA trained specifically in home care intake can do it accurately and consistently. And the answer is yes, with the right background and the right setup. Let me walk through what a VA actually handles when they own this function. The first thing is inbound inquiry management. When a referral comes in, the VA is the first point of contact. They gather the initial information, client name, location, care needs, insurance details, family contacts, and they do it in a way that is warm and professional. Because this is often the first interaction a family has with your agency, and that impression matters more than most people realize. The second thing is documentation and system entry. Once the inquiry is captured, the VA enters all client information into your system, AxisCare, WellSky, or whatever platform you run on, accurately and completely the first time. This is also where HIPAA compliance is non-negotiable. The VA is handling protected health information from the very first contact. At ClearDesk, every VA placed in a home care role goes through thorough training specific to home care before they ever touch a client record. The third thing is authorization and payer verification. Before care can start, the payer needs to be confirmed and any required authorizations need to be in place. A VA handles this by contacting the payer, verifying coverage, documenting the authorization in the system, and flagging anything missing. This step gets skipped constantly when owners are doing intake themselves because it is tedious. A VA, whose job it is to own this function, does not skip it. The fourth thing is care plan setup. Once the client is confirmed, the VA enters the care plan details, visit frequency, caregiver requirements, client preferences, special instructions. When this is done correctly from the start, the scheduling function has everything it needs without anyone having to go back and fill in gaps later. And the fifth thing is family communication throughout the process. Families have questions. When does care start? Who will the caregiver be? What should we expect on the first day? A VA handles this proactively, keeping families updated and flagging anything that needs clinical input to the care coordinator. Families who feel informed during intake become long-term clients. Families who feel like they are chasing information do not. One of our clients, a home care agency owner in the Pacific Northwest, was handling her own intake alongside everything else she was managing. Every referral meant stopping whatever she was doing, gathering information, entering it in the system, verifying authorization, following up with the family. She estimated it was costing her 2 to 3 hours a day. After her ClearDesk VA took over, referrals started getting handled the same day they came in. Authorization verification started happening within 24 hours. Family communication became consistent and proactive, and she got those 2 to 3 hours back every single day. That is what a trained intake VA actually delivers, not just task completion, but operational consistency that changes how the agency feels from the inside and how it looks to the families you are trying to serve. At ClearDesk, every VA we place in a home care role is trained in AxisCare and WellSky, compliant, and vetted through a process that accepts less than 0.5% of applicants. Client satisfaction is 4.9 out of 5 across more than 2,000 business owners. No contract, month-to-month, 7-day money-back guarantee. If you want to see what a VA managed intake function looks like for your agency specifically, book a call with our team at the link in the description.